There's no question that Ford's Bronco would be the most anticipated reveal of the year, and now it's finally unwrapped. Here's our first look at this all-new off-roader, along with its Bronco Sport sibling. You'll have to wait to get behind the wheel, though. The Bronco Sport comes out later this year, while the Bronco arrives next spring in 2-door and 4-door. The Bronco starts at $40,199 and the Bronco Sport at $32,199, and you can lay down $100 right now to reserve either one.
The new Ford Bronco for 1966.
The first Bronco came out in 1966. During its development, Ford talked to Jeep owners to see what they liked, and more importantly, what they didn't like about their vehicles. And that's what the company also did with this one. So like the Wrangler, the Bronco's doors come off, but unlike the Wrangler, you can stow them in the Bronco and take them with you. The mirrors stay on the body too, so you don't have to add aftermarket mirrors for doorless street driving. But unlike Jeep, you can't fold down the windshield. You can get a cloth top or a removable hard roof, and that one's in smaller sections so one person can remove them. You can take out the rear quarter windows without removing any roof panels. And the crossbar is behind the rear seat, so when the roof is off, everyone gets a full view of the sky. The Bronco rides on a fully boxed steel frame, and it's meant to be modular. Ford says that with a wrench and an hour, you can strip it almost to its bare bones. That'll let you install accessories, and there will be more than 200 of them at launch, including a dash rack for your phone or GoPro, and heavy-duty bumpers with a winch mount. Trim levels are base, Big Bend, Black Diamond, Outer Banks, and the tougher Wild Track and Badlands models. There's also a special edition for American buyers, but not for Canada. There are two EcoBoost turbocharged engines. The base is a 2.3-liter four-cylinder, and it makes 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. The upgrade is a twin-turbo 2.7-liter V6, making 310 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. That's more horsepower than Wrangler, and you only get more torque if you order Jeep's diesel. The four-cylinder comes with a 7-speed manual transmission, which is 6 speeds plus a crawler gear. You can option a 10-speed automatic, which is the only transmission with the V6. The base 4x4 is a 2-speed transfer case with shift on the fly. There's also an advanced system with an auto setting for pavement as well as soft surfaces. The independent front suspension uses Dana front and rear axles, and Bilstein shocks and Spicer electronic locking differentials are available. You can get beadlock capable rims with 35-inch tires, and the semi-active hydraulic stabilizer bar can be disconnected even when the suspension is articulated. All models will tow up to 3,500 pounds. Now, if you're not an experienced off-roader, fear not. There's a terrain management system with up to 7 selectable drive modes, including sand, mud, and rock crawl. You can also get trail control, which works as low-speed cruise control, and trail one-pedal drive, which modulates the brake and throttle if you're crawling over rocks. When you're all done, come back to base camp, swing open the hatch, slide out the tailgate seat, and uncap your bevy with the built-in bottle opener. Ford says it kept the Bronco simple because that's what fans want. But there's still some higher-tech wizardry, and you can get an off-road specific navigation system that tracks and captures your adventures to share with friends. The infotainment system is all new Sync 4, and over-the-air vehicle updates will reduce your dealer visits. On-road driver assist technologies will also be offered. That's it for the tough, and now to the tender, or at least the not as rugged Bronco Sport. It won't take you as far out as the Bronco will, but Ford says the top trim Badlands will outperform the Trailhawk versions of Jeep's Cherokee and Compass, and those two do a surprisingly good job on rough terrain. The Bronco Sport is a compact unibody SUV based on the same platform as the Ford Escape. The base engine is a 1.5-liter EcoBoost 3-cylinder engine that makes 181 horsepower and 190 pound-feet of torque. The upgrade is a 2-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder that makes 245 horsepower and 275 pound-feet of torque. However, Ford's rating both of these with premium fuel, so you'll get a little less grunt on regular grade. Both engines use an 8-speed automatic transmission. All Bronco Sports are all-wheel drive, prioritizing the front wheels, but sending up to 50% of power to the rear as needed. The Badlands adds a twin-clutch rear unit with differential lock, and it can deliver all rear axle torque to one wheel if the other loses its grip. Like the Bronco Sport will offer a terrain management system with mud and rock crawl modes, along with trail control, low-speed cruise control, and front-facing camera. Its target buyers are more about going off-road on the way to activities, and so the cargo compartment can hold 2 mountain bikes standing up. There will be lots of accessories, including a roof-mounted tent for camping. The liftgate includes a flip-up rear window, and there are floodlights in the gate that shine down so you can see what you're doing on the optional slide-out table. And yes, there's a bottle opener on this one too. On-road amenities include blind spot monitoring, lane keeping assist, and automatic high beams, and available adaptive cruise control with stop and go, satellite radio, and Ford Plus Alexa. If you buy any Bronco or the Bronco Sport Badlands, Ford throws in an off-road driving adventure once you get yourself to any of the 4 U.S. locations where they'll be held. We've waited a long time to see this, and we'll have to wait longer to drive it, but the Bronco really looks the part. It's got retro styling with a modern touch and well-designed features that should appeal to fans. It definitely seems like it was worth the wait. For Driving.ca, I'm Jill McIntosh, and for more truck and SUV news and reviews, visit us on Instagram and Twitter.